past the midway point of the season, Tim. What kinds of things are you focusing on right now as you take a look at the league?
Well, Kevin, this is where teams separate. There's two paths. Teams that are starting to get themselves ready for a playoff run, and those that are starting to think about their next offseason and angling for a good draft position.
And teams trying to peak at the right time. A very tough thing to achieve, don't you think?
Critical. You want to be in rhythm and healthy to make that deep playoff run.
And the starting group for the Grizzlies. We've got Santi Aldama. Jalen Wells is out there with Ty Jerome. And it's Coward in at the 2.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Pass to Coward. Back to Jerome. Here's Hendricks. Offline with his 3. And he drives in. The shot's good from Christie.
Watching the trajectory on a floater never gets old. One of the most fun ways to score that this league has.
And this Grizzlies organization, Greg, not afraid to innovate.
Yeah, we see that with the offense they've implemented. Different from just about any other team in the league. Rather than pick and roll, it's much more predicated on off-ball shifts and cutting.
Just 2 to shoot. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. The Mavericks have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for them to start off this game. And here is Marshall. Last game out, 36 points for him. Dallas moving the ball around. From deep, Washington. That one doesn't drop. For Memphis, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Pass to Aldama. Now Jerome buries it from 3-point range. It's all knotted up.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Here's Washington. Over in the corner, Christie. Washington passes to Christie. Fires for 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. Moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
Well, in that one, you could pretty much see the writing on the wall. Their performance was lackluster at best.
Well, there's no hiding the fact they didn't play their best. They had a couple of runs, but they just couldn't really string anything together consistently.
When he's hitting that shot, this offense becomes scary, even more difficult to defend.
Well, he just looks so confident right there, and sometimes that's all it takes.
Yep, that one goes.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack, and where's the help defensively?
That is a quality look. You can't do it much better than that.
Now, here's Wells. He has 6. Here's Hendricks. There's a screen by Aldama. Off target from outside. And Tim, you think about rim-running centers. Daniel Gafford typifies that type of player.
Yeah, Kevin, he's a great finisher. He knows when to dive at the rim. And what you like with Gafford is that he's willing to meet you there defensively as well.
Here's Christie. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game. 58 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Coward. Here's Hendricks. Sinks the 3-pointer. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
It reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
Now, here's Washington. Still scoreless. Over in the corner, Marshall. Christie kicks to Washington. Takes a 3. And it's flag missing. Memphis leading. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Wells passes to Jerome. Wells in the corner. There's a screen by Aldama. Hands it from downtown. Jerome's got 6.
Oh, what a steady presence offensively and a very difficult player to game plan for.
Here's flag. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. Memphis out in front, as they end the first quarter on a 12-4 run. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
Well, they haven't wasted any time getting into a groove from deep, putting up and hitting a healthy amount of three-pointers thus far.
Another highlight for them has been their early ball movement, making quick, decisive passes to set up guys for great looks.
So on the floor for Memphis, they've got Jackson. Pippen is out there with Kyle Anderson. And it's Prosper in at the 4 spot. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Bagley. Let's see some of the numbers here for Naji Marshall.
He's been playing a much bigger role in their offense over the past 5 games. It comes across in his usage rate, which has gone up during that stretch. We'll see if they continue to lean on him here tonight.
Here's Spencer, and they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line. It goes on Chris Middleton. The Grizzlies shooting their first free throw tonight.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
The free throw drops for Jackson. Hey, Tim, what are some of the keys to sticking around for role players fighting to remain at the NBA level?
Well, if you are a role player in this league, you need to understand you need to work at everything but be exceptional at something. And I think that's the key. Growing up, all of these guys were stars. Now you've got to fit in and understand on a given night what your role is.
And your sensational aspect was your three-point shooting.
You've got to do it better than anybody else, Kevin. It's got to be at an elite level because there are guys out there waiting to take your job.
And you were elite. Now Pippen, after the missed 3 from Klay Thompson. Anderson, a screen on Williams. And Pippen gets it to go. Pippen's got the lead up to 10 now for the Grizzlies.
Well, you want those shots anytime you can get a high percentage at the rim.
And so now a timeout called by Jason Kidd. He's going to take this chance to talk to his guys. They faced off right here last time they met, but the home club just couldn't pull out the win.
Yeah, and looking back at their last game against this club, they were badly out-rebounded.
Getting ready for Dallas. Daniel Gafford's checked in for Marvin Bagley. B.J. Washington comes in for Chris Middleton. Naji Marshall, he's checked in for Klay Thompson. And Flagg subbed in for Williams. It's Nembhard on the wing. Now, Flagg, looking at the numbers, he's averaging about 20.5 points a game. Nembhard against Jerome. Hendricks passes to Jackson. And he banks in the layup. And now a 12-point Grizzly lead.
Give them credit. Offensively, they've been the more efficient team.
Yeah, they have just found the better looks, and they are capitalizing.
Here's Flag from deep Washington. No good that time. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. They set the pick. No one near as Jerome lets it go. Here's Coward. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. The Grizzlies have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line. And so the timeout here called by Thomas Isolo. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. Mavericks making a change here. Christie's checked in. Santi Aldama's checked in for Memphis. First one falls for him. So, Tim, I'm sure it's hard to pick one, but who would you call the most underrated player right now in the NBA?
Well, I think it's Pascal Siakam, and I have felt that way for a few years. I just think you're talking about someone who has great energy, plays both ends of the floor, and is a matchup nightmare because of his versatility.
And began kind of in oblivion. He had to play some time in the G League and work his way up.
Became the most improved player in this league. And one of the responsibilities with being a great player is making free throws.
Washington sets the pick for Marshall. Pass to Flag. 6 on the shot clock. They need this one. Christie can't make it.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Hey, Kevin. The Grizzlies last season retired the jersey number of the grind father, defensive ace Tony Allen, the player who coined the grit and grind motto that came to define the franchise in the 2010s. Allen was a perennial all-defense selection in Memphis, and his hard-nosed play set the tone. Back over to you, Kevin.
All right, Allie, thanks a lot. Here's Flag, following the score by Memphis. It's stolen by Aldama. Out to the right wing. Jerome with it. He has 6. Pass to Hendricks. Shot clock at 5. From past the arc. It's rebounded by Dallas.
Yeah, another miss from downtown this quarter after being hot in the first.
Gafford sets the pick for Marshall. Wants to get it to Gafford and does.
And with the monster finish, he stops an 11-0 run by the Grizzlies.
Memphis leading by 14. Jerome passes to Aldama. Memphis moving that ball around. Here's Hendricks. He's covered by Washington. Pass to Hendricks. Shot clock at 6. Here's Jerome. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Jerome's got 8.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Yeah, he can taste a win right now. He's just trying to close it out.
And so it's Memphis in command with a 16-point lead as the buzzer sounds. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
Please direct your attention to center court. And get ready for the fan half-court shot. Drum roll, please. Okay, they're thinking about the shot. Nice. Oh, nice try. It's all good. One more time. A huge round of applause for our contestants.
Welcome, everybody. This game revealing a big disparity in play. What a performance so far for the Memphis Grizzlies.
You have to ask yourself, how much better can they play? Good decision-making, they made shots. That's very impressive, man.
And now the question is, can they maintain that razor-sharp level of focus? Hard to bet against them.
And there's more NBA action in store for us tonight. Here are the games tipping off later. It'll be the Cleveland Cavaliers up against the Pistons out in Detroit. 7 p.m. Eastern is the tip-off.
It's one to watch, kind of a heavyweight matchup.
That's my favorite.
And that's a halftime wrap. Let's get back to the second half with the call by Kevin Harlan and the crew.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. One of the stories here, Ty Jerome getting it done today.
Really impressed with the shot selection through the first half, just taking what he can get from the defense.
Now, what more can you ask of him? That is helping out your team.
Memphis leading by 16. Big man on the floor for him. It'll be Washington and Gafford. Christie is out there with Flag. And it's Marshall in at the 3, the small forward. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Jason Kidd. Here's Hendricks, 6 to shoot. His 3-pointers off the mark. Dallas shooting about 35% from the floor. Not much falling for them. Pass to Washington. Over in the corner, Christie. Here's Flag. And it's off from 3-point range. Now here's Wells. Marshall defending. Pass to Coward. Back to Jerome. Over Flag. Jerome, no good.
Yeah, but the hand in the face is critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Marshall sets a screen for Flag. And the 3 off target.
Well, I think at this point the whole team is pressing, but he certainly looks frustrated.
The tray. Here's Aldama. And Aldama slams it in.
I'd say that shot is well within his range.
I would hope so. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Dallas, no good that time either.
That's 3 straight misses to start the second half. Not what they wanted.
And Aldama slams it in.
Pushing the action, getting others involved. He does it time and time again.
That is just beautiful ball movement. Unselfish basketball.
Now here's Marshall. Defense right on him. Makes it off the glass. Marshall's got his first 2 points. Pass to Hendricks. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. And it's in there.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Now Marshall. Washington inside. Yep, that one goes in there.
Yeah, he found some room there along the baseline. Space at the rim, goes right up and puts it in without resistance.
And so the timeout here called by Thomas Isolo. He's ready to talk things through with them. Mavericks making a change here. Nembhard's checked in, and Memphis also making a switch. Pippen's checked in. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Here's Coward, defended by Christie.
He was bothered just enough to miss that shot. That's good work by the defense.
Pass to Marshall. It's Nembhard on the wing. Nothing on the board. And legs from going undrafted to becoming a three-point contest champion. You had to fight for your place in the NBA.
Well, Kevin, that's an understatement. Yes, undrafted in '88. I played in just about every league imaginable, including a year in France. Had a bunch of 10-day contracts early on, but I didn't get my first full-time NBA contract until 1993 with the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, your perseverance and tenacity definitely paid off.
Certainly didn't take no for an answer, I can tell you that.
Chris Middleton's checked in for Daniel Gafford. Jackson, he's checked in for Memphis. Mavericks trailed by 18. Right now, let's take a second to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Thanks a lot, guys. A new generation is entering the league, and Draymond Green said, these young dudes talk a lot of mess. I don't mind it at all. It's just weird to be in a space where they're like, man, I watched you my whole life. But then they're also talking crazy, saying, you had your run, you're old now. Back on me.
Yep, it flips quick, doesn't it? Thank you, Allie.
Well, he is really filling it up, but also keeping others involved.
Pass to Washington. Now Christie. The three, Marshall. Middleton. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
How about the save there by Middleton, outsmarting the defense and able to get that second chance look.
Pippen sets a screen for Wells. That three off the mark. The Mavericks have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. Christie. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it.
Well, you can't let that happen. That seems like a mental mistake.
And the Mavericks with some changes. Bagley, he's checked in for P.J. Washington. And it's Thompson in for Marshall. Thompson against Jackson. There's a screen by Aldama. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's Memphis, holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. Back right after this. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Well, coaches love unselfishness, and this is exactly what they're referring to.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. On the court for Memphis to start the fourth. Ty Jerome out there with Pippen. Then there's Anderson. Then it's G.G. Jackson. And it's Prosper in at the 4-man position. Middleton can't get it to go. And the Grizzlies leading by 18. Jerome deciding where to go with it. Pass to Prosper. Looking for Anderson. He gets it there. Shot clock at 6. Anderson with the screen for Jerome. And the basket by Prosper.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
It's Nembhard on the wing, guarded by Jerome. That one falls. And Jerome has got the ball here for Memphis. Next game, they'll take on the Pacers in Indianapolis at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road. There's a good screen. There's the 3. Pippen for 3. The rebound by Middleton.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Bagley dishes to Thompson. To Bagley. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson.
Gotta push Bagley out of the paint. Once he's close to the rim, he is locked in on scoring.
Timeout called by Coach Iserlohn. He has decided it's the right time to talk. It up here. Memphis leading by 17. Jerome passes to Aldama. Back to Jerome. For 3. Washington rips down the rebound.
That is fantastic defense on one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Didn't give him an inch of room.
Mavericks have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the 4th quarter started. And Jerome has got the ball here for the Grizzlies. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. Here's Aldama. Christie there for the rebound. Mavericks trail by 17. 4th quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Here's Washington. Gafford. And he connects on the short J.
Buckets coming in bunches right now. He is just being big time.
And the Grizzlies leading by 15. Here's Coward. Now Jerome. The 11-footer, he gets it to go.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
And this is where you really want to be mindful. No turnovers, no sloppy play.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority, very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Grizzlies.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And so looking at their number, this will be win number 22 on the year.
And once they polish off this win, they'll be one more victory away from sweeping the season series.
The shot from 20, 2 points. That one goes.
Christie with the assist.
There's 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Oh, what a play inside.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, any thought of losing this game has been put to bed.
Here's Gafford. The response, slamming it home. Got a piece of it. Marshall with the steal. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Now, here's Gafford. Flag. So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. Along with Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you once again for being with us here tonight on 2K Sports. And as we leave, we present our player of the game.